Hello friends, today we are going to read about sexual reproduction in plants. Most of the plants that you see around bear flowers. The flowers are the reproductive parts of a plant. These flowers are borne on shoots and serve as the reproductive parts of a plant. They bear male and female reproductive cells which on fusion produce seeds. The seeds germinate to produce new plants. There are four whorls of the flower. They are number 1. Calyx. This is the outermost part of the flower forming a whorl of tiny green leaf-like structures called sepals. In bud condition, they enclose the inner parts of the flower providing necessary protection. Number 2. Corolla. Made up of petals, it forms the second inner whorl and is next to the sepals. They are usually white or colored but rarely green. The petals make the flower attractive. Number 3. Androecium or the male part. It is the next third whorl inner to the petals consisting of delicate thread-like structures called the stamens. Each stamen is formed of a long, narrow, thin filament and a broad, sac-like lobed anther found at its tip. Number 4. Gynoecium, the female part. It consists of carpels, the fourth innermost part of the flower. It is also called a pistil. Each carpel is formed of 3 parts: a swollen ovary at the base, a narrow thread-like style in the middle, and a terminal expanded stigma at the top. Pollination. Pollination is the process in which the pollen grains from the anther are transferred to the stigma of a flower of the same species. There are 2 types of pollination: self-pollination and cross-pollination. Self-pollination is the one that occurs either within the same flower or between the 2 flowers on the same plant. Cross-pollination occurs between 2 flowers on different plants of the same species. Now we are going to read about agents of cross-pollination. Number 1. Insects. When insects help in pollination, such a transfer of pollen grains is called insect pollination. Butterflies, bees, and other insects are the insects that help in this pollination. Marigold, dahlia, and salvia are some of the insect-pollinated flowers. When an insect alights on a flower, the pollen grains stick to its mouth parts, wings, legs, etc. When this insect visits another flower, the pollen grains from its body may fall on the stigma of that flower. Characteristics of insect-pollinated flowers. These flowers are large with colored petals to attract insects. These are scented so that insects locate the flowers by smelling. They contain nectar as food for insects. They produce sticky pollen grains so that they may stick to the body parts of the insect. Number 2. Wind. When wind is the agent of cross-pollination, it is called wind pollination. Some plants like maize, palm, pine, etc. produce dry pollen grains in large quantity. When these flowers mature, the pollen grain gets blown away by the wind. This is called wind pollination. Characteristics of wind-pollinated plants. They are usually small and are of dull colors. They generally have long anthers protruding out of the flower so that pollen grains may get blown off easily. They produce a large quantity of pollen. The pollen grains are light so that they can be carried away easily. Number 3. Water. Pollination where water acts as an agent of cross-pollination is known as water pollination. Valsnaria is one good example of a water-pollinated flower. These are aquatic plants whose male flowers are submerged in water to start with, gets detached when mature and float on the surface of water. When these floating male flowers happen to come in contact with a female flower, the pollen grains are transferred to its stigma. Characteristics of wind-pollinated flowers. Flowers are small and light so that they can easily float on water. Male and female flowers are borne on separate plants. Pollen grains are produced in large numbers. Other examples of animals who help in pollination are birds, squirrels, bats, etc. Thank you.